Is it too late to learn how to code in 2026? And does it even matter with all these AI tools out here that can generate code, figure things out for you? Do you really need to learn how to code? Is this a skill that is dying because of the rise of AI? In this video, I'm going to tell you my thoughts on that. In my opinion, you need to learn how to code. If this is something that you want to do, that's still on the table. You should not let AI dictate whether you are going to be able to learn how to code, figure things out, and actually jump into tech, right? Because honestly, AI is everywhere now. You have so many AI agents out there that could do so many great things. And people take for granted what you could do because they think AI, like if you were to prompt AI to build you an application, you could give it the basic requirements and it could build it based on the tech stack that it could choose for you. Or you could, if you even know what you want to build, you could give it that information, but that doesn't necessarily mean that is going to be correct, right? That doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be operational. Because what people forget is that you could prompt and give it the information that AI can do, but at the same time, you still need the fundamentals to understand how applications work, how code should be structured. All right. Because if you don't have that, you're going to be screwed, bro. And we've seen in the news, especially all these different applications, you're just letting agents run amok and do all these things behind the scenes, and it's deleting your database. It's elevating their user privileges to do other things. And you're looking at your application like, what's going on? And AI is gaslighting you, saying that, well, you gave me access to do all these things. This is why being a software engineer today is crucial, because even with AI, the rise of AI, you're going to have the rise of jobs in the market to where software engineers needs to fix the mess that AI is creating based on people who don't have the skill of understanding how systems work in applications. So I want you to understand that there's more opportunity now than it was back in the early days. Okay. With AI, you're going to use it as an assistant to help you with your learning. You're going to use it to build and write code the correct way. If you logically understand how code is written and what solves a problem and how to debug things accurately with good prompting, you should be fine. With all this BS about, AI is taking your job, this, that, and the third, it depends on what skills you have, right? And if this is the case, you could use AI to build your skill set a lot faster and actually, instead of you thinking about, oh, I want to build this application as like a side project, you could actually do it now within minutes. Okay. So all it is just consistency, time, and figuring out what you want today to start building. It's not too late to learn how to code now. It's not too late. You should actually be excited to learn how to code today with all these AI tools, right? But it feels like it's too late because boot camps are being saturated. What you're learning in school is probably not up to date, or you're not really getting any value depending on the professor that you're working with. And I get that. I've dealt with that before, to where I would sit in a lecture and try to figure out, all right, how do I write in C++? How do I build a website? And whatever you got in the textbook just didn't really make any sense. And it also, the knowledge didn't really transfer well. So the way I learned was I knew the basic fundamentals, and then I just got a job right out the gate to do entry level work and then work my way up to a full stack engineer today. And I've learned over the course of my career that it's not just about the code anymore, man. Like, it's not about that. It's all about how you proceed to solve problems, understanding the business, logic, understanding how to architect a feature or how to architect an application from start to finish. What is important to scale a system? If you're not able to do that, I mean, you're going to be at a loss. You're going to be dealing with small, mundane things, and you think you're getting ahead when it's not really giving you any good, information in terms of like whether you're on the right track or not. So AI is just changing the baseline. It's changing how things are being done today. Like, it's making things a lot faster, but you have to give it context. The more context that you give it, the better it will be. And the more context that you have as a developer, whether you understand the fundamentals, how to architect the system, this is what's going to create opportunities for you. All right. So that's why coding is still worth it. Like, you still need technical people to tell AI what to do. You still need the fundamentals to take you further to build whatever you need to build. And also, problem solving is very important today as well. Communication is very important. And some of you developers don't even like to communicate, which I don't understand. The only way to get opportunities today, in my opinion, is through communication. Communicate exactly what you want to build to where it actually scales and it works. I mean, now, especially like before, when I was building applications, it took a while just to get a application up and running. It might have taken me a couple months, like even with consistency, because there was always something else I needed to add. There was always something that was breaking. There was always something that needed improvement. Now with AI, you just tell it exactly what you need. It does it right then and there. And then whatever the code generation is, you can look at the output, you can understand whether it's feasible or not. And having that context of understanding what code is feasible and what code is not is going to save you a lot of time and headache. Because what people are doing is just a vibe coding. They're accepting every single code output that AI is doing, no matter what AI tool that you're using. They're accepting it, and then there are underlying flaws within that process. There are security vulnerabilities. There are issues with scaling the application. If you have more users using that application and it's slow, how do you solve that problem? And also understanding your front end layer, your back end layer, middle layer, all these different things. You could have all these different tools together, but if you don't understand each individual context for those buckets, you are going to overflow with problems. And we are seeing it today. So that's why being a software engineer today is crucial, because you're going to be cleaning up a lot of the mess and you're going to be teaching others how to prompt with AI. What's important? We need software engineers more than ever, and you need to start getting on the ball with using AI as an assistant to supplement your learning, and you're going to get better, and you're going to notice that what you didn't know from day one and you stay consistent, you're going to be able to pick out problems relatively easy. For people that actually want to learn how to code, this is where, here's a rubric for you guys to follow. All right. If you love to problem solve, if you love technology, if you love to build real projects, and I'm not talking about clones of apps today like you see on YouTube today, you're not going through web tutorials, you're not doing all that stuff. You actually have a project in mind that you want to build. This is the field for you. If you like to stay consistent, meaning like whatever you stick with, you start to do every single day, you create good habits and learn as much as you can, this is the field for you, because being a software engineer is not for the weak. I can tell you right now, like, it's a lot of logic. It's a lot of just using your brain to figure things out. You have to figure out problems for everybody. And if you enjoy fixing things, building things, and just taking control of what can be done, then this is the field for you. You know what I'm saying? Because some of you guys want to look at the salary opportunities, and I understand, like, you can make a lot of money as a software engineer, and you can work for all these bigger companies and have all these different perks, but it all depends on how well you do with stress, how good your fundamentals are, and whether this is something that you want to do in the long term. Because there's going to be a point in your career to where, if you're doing entry level work, mid level work, become a senior, what is the next step? Like, do you want to become a manager? Do you want to lead people? These are the things that you need to answer as you go through your career. If you don't like to debug, you should not be a software engineer. If you don't like building outside of tutorials, like you want to use a tutorial to build something and just have it on your portfolio that you made a clone of this, that doesn't cut it anymore. All right. Like with AI, you give it context, it helps you build an application based on your vision. And then it's up to you to understand whether the tech stack that you're using is actually feasible, the code that's being generated is feasible. You're able to scale a system to where it could just run infinitely and you can make improvements to make it better. This is where it's important, because if you're just doing it for a quick buck, I'm telling you, bro, you're going to be miserable. So learning how to code is not just learning code, right? Learning a language. It's all about the software engineering fundamentals, right? Every single time you pick up a language, you understand the fundamentals of how to create functions, how to name your variables, how to debug, how to look at error logs. These are the things that are going to help you tremendously. How to deal with logic in terms of one user going through one path versus another. If this data value is not present, what do you do with that? Like, is there another way to get that data, or would you show something on the screen for the front end users to look at? These are the things that you need to think about. And then also, like, AI is your tutor today, right? So this is where learning how to code helps tremendously. Whatever you're getting at like a university or a boot camp, I think with the boot camp, you're getting more of like the hands-on experience with other people. Like, you get to work with them and you have that communication style, right? So you're not really doing everything on your own, but like if you don't have the funds to do all that stuff, AI is the best in this case. It doesn't matter which AI tool you use, whether it's Codex, Claude Code, Cursor. Look into those AI agents, try to figure it out, right? Like, try to build different applications with each AI agent and see where the pitfalls are and what the benefits are, and then stick with one. And then also understanding how to build a system. You need to understand how systems work. If you're just focused on the front end, that's only one aspect of it. But you have to understand that a real world application is the front end, back end, middle layer, and all these different services that do different things. Deployments is very important too. So you need to understand that. How do you deploy your application once it's ready to go? How do you do that? Do you go with GitHub Actions? Do you go with some other CI/CD pipeline? How does that actually work? And once you understand the basics of that, you could have anything that you're pushing to your branch, right? For example, so if you're using a branching strategy for your work, it will kick off the pipeline to where it builds it, and you could view it based on the domain that you configure. So there's a lot of different ways you could go about creating steps for that. And that's going to be very important. You could use AI to give you a breakdown of that. And then communication. Listen, this is very important. And a lot of people neglect this. I don't understand why, but some people just don't, as a developer, they don't want to communicate. They just want to work on the stuff and that's it. Communication will give you more opportunities than not communicating at all. Let's keep it a buck. So work on your communication skills. Ask questions frequently. Don't act like you know it all, because you don't. And I mean, try to figure it out on your own, right? Like, take the pride to figure it out on your own. But like, if it takes more than an hour, ask someone else or use AI to help you. And then also, the last thing I'll talk to you guys about is just have proof that you're building something, right? Like, when you're learning how to code, you can learn all these concepts, but if you haven't built anything yet, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing? So learn how to build and show proof of that on your portfolio. Learn how to build different applications that come to mind, to where you're building it on your own. You're using AI to validate the code that you wrote if you wanted to do it that way, or as you're building it, have AI just kind of look at the code and give suggestions on what could be better. And be able to confidently explain how your applications are working. If you're able to do that, the world is your oyster, bro. Let's keep it a buck, because communication is going to give you the opportunities, and then the skills that you already have with AI in terms of prompting, giving it context, understanding agents, understanding markdown files. It's all going to come to a close, right? Like, everything that you worked so hard for every single day will pay off. That's the video. Like, that's what I think about learning how to code in 2026. It's still a skill that I think everybody should be learning if you're really interested in tech. And if you want to become a software engineer or developer in tech, this is the way to go now. It's not about going to boot camps. It's not about going to university. You can literally learn on your own using AI today. There's no excuses. So if you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Let me know how you feel about AI, and whether you're using AI to supplement your learning with learning how to code, and whether you don't agree with my stance on learning how to code today. And we'll have a conversation in the comments, right? And then if you need a mentor to help you figure out your path in tech. There's a link in the description to where you could book a 15-minute consultation with me. Free consultation. We could talk about what you want to do. And then based on that, we could schedule out some time for like an hour call just to go through any of your pain points. All right. Talk soon.